disgusting that anyone who saw you do it, you know, like you have no romantic chance with them whatsoever. Like no noticed chance. That doesn't come into the story, but I'm just throwing that out there. And footnote, I apologize to those of you who have just eaten, or those of you who are eating, those of you who have any kind of residual digestive matter in your systems. And footnote to that footnote, I've been reading a lot of David Foster Wallace, and so I apologize for that. So I was in this philosophy program in college that was kind of an honors program, and it was really pretentious. Footnote, I realized that footnotes themselves are a little bit pretentious, but I hope that my hip self-awareness transcends that pretentiousness. We were in this philosophy program, we didn't call ourselves honors, and that somehow was more pretentious even. And there's this one feared class called the Trivium. I know, pretentious out the wazoo, right? And I think it's Greek for, like, obnoxious antiquated. There we go. Nobody uses it anymore. So, in this class, there's this one feared assignment called the Silly Sonnet. And the Silly Sonnet is a sophomore in college performing a Shakespearean sonnet. And the one rule for the assignment is that it has to be the most embarrassing thing that person has ever done in their lives. Now, footnote here. Some of the stories that scared us were like this one guy in performing a sonnet dressed up as a homeless man, walked outside the window of the classroom, was performing the sonnet. People who didn't know what he was doing called the police. He was arrested and brought to jail performing the sonnet. And so I'm sitting in the classroom, and I have a reputation as not being easily embarrassed. Footnote, that's not really a great thing in my case, because it's not so much like a skill as it is like an accumulation of a critical mass of humiliating experiences to the point that I no longer care. Like, for example, dancing and being thought to be someone with Down syndrome. And that sounds mean, but like I was actually in high school at a dance, and someone actually thought that I had Down syndrome while I was dancing. So it's not like a euphemism, like, oh, I look like this way. I was actually called that, which is another story for another time and a big mistake on their part, I thought. So if this were like a Greek tragedy, this would be a hamartia, but I'm going to call it a harhartia, because it's not a Greek tragedy, no one died yet. And so, my professor says, if you're Steve, nothing's going to embarrass you. I don't know what you're going to do. So I took that as like a challenge. And I kind of like, took it too far, a la Icarus. Footnote, what's in there. So I decided, like, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell this sonnet, and I'm just going to, like, knock it out of the park with, like, embarrassment. What I decided to do was, my sonnet was sonnet 130, which I'm sure you all know, but it starts out, my mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun, and at one point it says in the sonnet, it talks about her cheeks. So I was like, oh, great, I can just, play on the whole cheeks thing. And I painted I had a friend paint a face on my behind. And I went out to some place and got this thing called a monkey thumb, and put that on. And, during the performance of the sonnet, what I was going to do is I was going to talk out of my backside. And, footnote, what you need to know is the way the room was set up was such that there was a lab table that I was standing on and performing on, and the rest of the audience was kind of like sloped upward. And so, like, when I bent over to do this, my one friend described it as, like, Steve, I think I saw your small intestine. And so, I got kicked out. I was the only person to ever get kicked out during this assignment. And I loved it because, like, it sucked, like, I didn't get a great grade, but at the same time, Kurt Vonnegut has this quote where he says, We need to continuously be developing wings as we jump off cliffs. And I think that there are different kinds of cliffs and different ways of jumping. Lab tables and ass out.